All hail, bitches. Mike here, Dezaras Prime. Welcome back to the channel and another Titans Return review. And today we are looking at Voyager Megatron. Now, for a while, this was my only G1 Megatron. I have the Siege one now. And I said before in my Mind Wipe review, does he hold up to the Siege Megatron? He's not as good, but he's still a good figure, because what he does well. He packs 3 modes, he's a triple changer, and all 3 modes are very good. He was a pre-tool of Blitzwing, and I know some people ragged on that, and they ragged on Optimus Prime being a pre-tool of Octane, or Octone, or Oct1, but definitely not Tankor. And that I can understand, because, you know, Prime and Octane are trucks, but Prime was never a jet. But the thing is, Megatron has been a jet, and he has been a tank. I mean, sometimes twice in the same continuity. Look at the live-action movies, went from a jet to a tank to a truck, to a different truck, Galvatron, and then back to a jet. So there's definitely a precedent for it where it comes to Megatron. Then he was technically a triple changer in Revenge of the Fallen, wasn't he? Because he flew to the moon, or wherever it was. Unless it was just a tank with wings, but, you know, he flew to the moon. So, yeah. But, this mould it's a good mould. It's tricky in places, but it does what it needs to do, and it does it well. I remember I never got the Generations Blitzwing, but I heard that it wasn't that good. But this one rocks it. It's got good modes all the way through, I feel anyway. There will be flaws, obviously, because, you know, with triple changes there's bound to be some issues, unless you're Springer. But, yeah, let's have a look at it. And, oops. It's just, it's got a little bit pouty. His Titan Master is called Doomshot, by the way. And it's one of those weird things where you can't really see it that well, but he has lips. And, you know, Megatron with lips, I mentioned it with fucking Mind Wipe. You know, Transformers with lips is a weird thing. I'm not going to go back there. But yeah. He's definitely rocking that pout. But he still looks like Megatron. It's a Megatron head sculpt. Maybe a little bit of black for the eyebrows, because he has that black eyebrow type thing, doesn't he? Would, you know, make it pop a little bit more, but, you know, for what it is, it's fine. RDW inspiration with the stickers there. I don't like stickers on Transformers these days. It's a nostalgia thing that I can totally do without. I don't even get what that is. Fucking, what is it? Chest hair? Is it like fucking cartoon chest? I know he had it on the IDW as well, and it's in the comics. It's like, why? Why has he got chest hair? Other than that, it's a decent chest sculpt. It's simple, it's blocky, it's Megatron through and through. I know some people have complained about there being too much red. I like the red because it just breaks up all that grey, because the grey is quite flat. It's not like Combiner Wars Megatron that I never got a hold of, the leader class, where it's like all fucking chrome paint or silver paint or whatever. It's quite a flat grey. So I like the added use of the red and the black just to break it up a little bit. His forearms are... His arms are, in general, are a bit iffy, because you've got like those fucking... The shoulders are weird, because If you look at that, it's like there's like bits on top of bits. But I quite like that. I like that it's all just fucking folded together. And it adds another like robotic, otherworldly feel to it. I kind of dig that. The upper arms, they look in proportion with the forearms from the top, from the front. And but from the side, it's kind of like you got these treads here that kind of make the arms look a little bit disproportionate, but I'm not going to gripe about that too much. His cannon, I believe, splits into two parts. So yeah, you've got his arm cannon thing that you can leave on there. So it's still got like that Megatron fusion cannon thing, and then he can hold the gun, which fits the Titan Master in. Personally, I prefer to keep it on the fusion cannon, just to it just brings it up more in line with the arm, makes it look a bit bigger. Well, it doesn't make it look bigger, it is bigger, isn't it? But it kind of like goes all the way up the arm instead of just a little forearm bit. Yeah, that's my preference anyway. Yeah, red abs there with some grey vents there and some nice sculpting on the middle piece, if you can see. And then the waist. I mean, the abs don't even end there. I mean, you've got a little black bit below the hips, above the hips. And then the waist and crotch piece, nicely detailed. And then some nice detailing on the shins and the feet as well. On the side, you've got the jet wings and flaps and shit. Around the back, few gaps, but it's all yeah, there's panels on the back, so there's very little hollow areas, except for like maybe the arms. The arms are probably the weakest part of this figure. Oh, I've not fucking rewind off. Roll on summer, I don't have to wear this fucking dressing gown. Yeah, the arms are probably the weakest part. But again, I still kind of like the arms. Because they don't make him look like a bitch in any way. You don't look at Megatron and think, oh, you're alright, you're not fucking, bro, do you even lift? You don't think that. You don't say that to Megatron, do you? Because he will still fucking destroy you. But yeah, the robot mode, I like it a lot. It's a very good G1 style Megatron robot mode. Not siege levels of awesomeness, but still very good for what it does. And if you don't have Siege Megatron, this is a decent G1 style Megatron substitute. Because let's face it, he's only been a gun once, hasn't he? In G1 he was a gun, every other time he hasn't been a gun. So I'm not fussed that he doesn't turn into a gun. And yeah, I've never really been that interested in picking up a G1 Megatron. Because he's got that whole fucking wank trigger thing that he's got going on, where he's like, pew pew, or whatever it is. The masterpiece is just, I'm not paying that for a masterpiece. No chance. But yeah, very nice. Megatron robot mode. It looks great. Let's take a quick look at Doomshot, his Titan Master. Not a great deal to write home about with this guy. No paint on the face or the arms or the legs. He's got a red torso, which is fine because it kind of like mixes in with that red. I wish the Galvatron Titan, I've mentioned the Galvatron thing before. Excuse me. I wish his Titan Master was painted better, with maybe some purple around the arms and legs to blend in with the helmet. But yeah, it's yeah, we're not talking about Galvatron today. We're talking about his precursor. And well, precursor in some continuities. Yeah, some nice. He's got that fucking, oh, That nice square fucking, like those sharp cheeks that Mindwipe has as well. It's a very nice Megatron head sculpt. A little bit of paint above the eyes, just a bit of black there would have been great. I guess I could probably risk doing that myself, but I'm not really one for customization. But yeah, all in all, a great little Titan Master, great figure in robot mode. I'll leave his head off because we'll get to one of the other modes. I'm not going to say which because it depends which one I figure out first. It's a tank mode's a bit of a darling. Actually, forgot how much I like the tank mode. It's key thing is it holds together really well. Because some figures like tanks and triple changes or whatever, they struggle with all three modes. Like I said, Spring is like probably the most notable exception, and by proxy Sandstorm. But this one really rocks it. Really does a great job. And the tank mode is you've got your jet wings on the side, but it's not immediately obvious. And the turret hides the nose cone of the jet well as well. Good as well. Yeah, it's a great little tank, this. Voyager sized tank as well, so it's not undersized. Yeah, I haven't got anything bad to say about it. It's sharp on the front. You got the jet thrusters there, I guess, but that can just be extra weaponry and shit. Extra boom. Even the tail fins give it like this sharp bastard edge, and fucking yeah, I just really like this tank mode. It's a joy. Turret doesn't swivel. Actually, it does. Yeah, I'll know that. Turret swivels. Yeah, I forgot about that. It can go up and up. Yeah, you put the cannon bit on there, and you've got like a little bit of like rotation, so he can shoot up, and then he can shoot straight up and all the way around. And yeah, there's yeah, it's very nicely done. I do like this tank mode a lot, actually. You can fit Doomshot in the turret where the tank would go, and so he can sit in there, and he's got his little like reticle window sort of thing for aiming and shit. And then you've got ports on the sides here, so you could put the extra gun on there, but it's going to look stupid because you've only got one. Or you could even just like, if you put Doomshot's little window thing down, you could plug it in there, have another Titan Master in there, and then you could have Doomshot firing off the big fucking fusion cannon, and then have another Titan Master in there firing off the secondary gun. Yeah, plenty you can do with it. Use your imagination. You can have a lot of fun with this thing. Yeah, tank mode's great. I don't care what anyone says. I love this tank mode, and if anybody says otherwise, I will just respond with 2 words: your mum. Let's get to jet mode, shall we? Okay, so jet mode's the weakest of the bunch in my opinion, but it's still not a bad jet mode. I mean, from the top, it's great jet mode. The only issue I have is the fucking arm tread kibble that goes at the back there. That seems a little bit loose. But it's got to go somewhere, hasn't it? But not that much evidence of a transformer underneath. It just looks a bit messy, but it doesn't look like there's a robot there. So, Megatron was never one about his looks, was he really? How tidy he looked. Still a decent little jet mode. I don't mind it. It's definitely not as good as the tank, and not as good as the robot, but as a jet, it's okay. It's serviceable. Yeah, very kibbly. A lot going on at the back, but honestly, don't mind it. I really like this figure, and it manages to pull off 3 different modes successfully without it becoming too messy. You can have your little fucking bastard gun of bastard Doom under there as well if you want. Or the fucking side one, I don't know. It pulls off 3 modes really nicely. You know, Springer, in my opinion, is still like I keep harping on. I'm gonna have to review Springer at some point, aren't I? I might do that as one of my live reviews. Because, not live, but, you know, one of the more... I'll upload it more recently than these Titans Return ones. But, yeah, Springer's still the best one. But I think Springer kind of... It's like he didn't just raise the bar, he is the bar. But he also kind of ushered in this wave of better triple changes, if you will. We had Springer, then we had Roadbuster, Whirl, and now we've got Megatron, Blitzwing, Octane, any Titans Return Voyager. Well, not all Titans Return Voyagers are decent triple changes, but this one is. He's probably, like I said, behind Springer and Sandstorm. But he's probably the next best, I'd hazard a guess at saying, in my opinion. Out of all the triple changes I've got, I enjoy this one a lot. He's got his, obviously the stickers are an issue, but they start to peel a bit if you're not careful. But that red and grey and that little bit of black really make it pop. Nice little orange cockpit window there that lies to you, because you can't actually put Doomshot in that way. You have to... see if I can get this. Lift the cockpit up like that, and then put Doomshot in, and then close the cockpit, and he's just sat in there like that, just sat inside, flying himself. But yeah, my triple changes, I mean, Galvatron is issues, the fucking robot mask. Everything else I like about Galvatron, it's just the whole fucking mask thing. And the cannon when I've got it right, and the jet's decent enough. Octane's okay, but we'll get to him, but his truck doesn't really hold together as well as Prime's does. Blitzwing's as good as this. Springer, Sandstorm, I'm going to stop mentioning them now. Whirls, I think Whirl's in a wank basket. Are they triple? No, Roadbuster isn't a triple changer, is he? What am I on about? No, Roadbuster isn't a triple changer. It's because Generations, and you got fucking like Springer and Sandstorm came out around about the same time. No, sorry about that. I had a thick moment. But yeah, Springer up the game, and I think this mold comes as close as anyone else to Springer in terms of official ones that I own anyway. So yeah, points for that. It's a really good all-round fucking figure. I like the robot mode, I like the tank mode, I even like the jet mode. The jet mode is the weakest, but it's by no means a bad jet mode, especially if you look at it from the top. I mean, yes, you've got these bits here, but it's still a very nice jet mode. And it looks fucking hench as well, which, you know, is what you want from a Megatron figure. He needs to look hench and look like he will tear you in two. And all 3 Megatron modes give that vibe. You get that impression with all 3 Megatron modes. It's just a great toy. Yeah. I've gone through the flaws. I've gone through the good. And there's a lot more good than there is bad. yeah, I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I got this and Blitzwing, because obviously Blitzwing came later, but glad I got a Megatron version as well. Anyway, that about wraps up my review of Titans Return Megatron. It's a cracker. I love it. I know some people don't, but I do. And I paid the money for it, so I'm allowed to like it. But yeah, that about wraps up this Megatron review. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with, I believe, next up is Sky Shadow. In terms of Titans Return, because quick note, this will probably happen before I get to this review. I'm only doing like Monday, Wednesdays with Titans Return. But then I'm thinking maybe on a Friday, not every Friday, but maybe on occasion, I'll do a review that week and upload it that week, because these are all done in advance. So my next Titans Return review will be Sky Shadow. There might be something between this and that. I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. You shall see me in a bitch.